They have radiating feathers that come off the head. Some believe that when you first look at these, they scream alien. And the absence of mouths suggests that possibly these extraterrestrials were telepathic.
There are people who envision that it's helmets on their heads and suits on their bodies, but this is a very plodding looking helmet. The kind of helmet that you see in 1950s aliens movies.
The presence of aliens isn't just limited to sightings or encounters, with recent discoveries proving them to have stayed on the Earth as civilizations.
Look at, there's another one. Whoa, wow.
Stick around to learn about the alien artifacts and belongings that were uncovered.
This is like next level.
It is possible that the ancient astronauts taught the Egyptians that mummification was a way of preserving their genetic information in the DNA.
October 2023 brought a surprise for Afghanistan in the form of a skeleton of some alien-looking creature with an extra-large skull and outsized eye sockets. What interested the researchers was that it had a necklace of some snake-designed patterns around its neck. When looked down, it revealed another snake-themed ancient jewelry on the wrist, which was shaped in the pattern of the serpent's head. These snake ornaments led to many theories that the being was either a snake worshiper or part of a snake-worshipping community. The real reason for the serpentine adornment on the skeleton remains mysterious, and the discovery has not been resolved yet. Extraterrestrial excavation.
Look at, there's another one. Whoa, wow. Oh.
An expedition team in Mexico brought to light the most unbelievable discovery. It starts with a weird pyramidal structure with carvings that some believe show the manipulation of alien DNA. Further in depth, they extracted a geometric statue in the form of a rectangle. Then, the skull of an alien made from unidentified remains of fossils. Then, they found a small figurine of human shape and one big flat object with mysterious symbols on it. Every new artifact that came up was more high-tech and otherworldly than the previous one. An ordinary dig slowly turned into an incredible treasure trove of alien relics, which left the group in some state of astonishment at their find.
We found something, you guys. Wow. This is like next level.
Cosmic Child Relic. Starting in 2023, a viral video took the internet by storm about some sort of ancient artifact nobody has ever seen. It seems fitted with a Spaceman suit, but what grew interest is attached around the mouth, going down toward its belly, and it appears to have something that resembles a baby. Weird patterns and some sort of writing surround it, and nobody can even recognize them. The thing looked extraterrestrial, with ancient writings on it whose origin and purpose are not known. And as further speculations continued on the part of the researchers about this mysterious find, more and more questions arose. Unearthed mysteries.
Throughout the world, countless mysterious artifacts have been discovered that defy any conventional explanation. And while skeptics may insist that proof of alien visitation could only come in the form of some highly advanced technology,
in 2021, miners working deep underground came upon an unbelievable find. The discoveries themselves made up a set of ancient artifacts, with each telling a different story. There is a figure carved with an X, a skull with alien-like features, and some stones that were handcrafted with unknown symbols and writings. Another very strange object found was a knife-shaped piece with mystifying drawings and its back with a lizard design. These artifacts were puzzling in both form and origin, and they were quickly passed on to a research team for investigations into origins and civilizations to which they may have belonged. Damaged artifact. It is believed that alien artifacts exist, and many videos have fueled this speculation. One video has gone viral over the internet, wherein an investigator was examining an ancient alien artifact. Figure-like pieces could be seen on this artifact attached at distances, while its top had mysterious symbols and shapes. As the investigator overturned it carefully, several round objects could be seen in it, fixed in. It seemed to have sustained some damage, and questions of its age and purpose arose. The unusual design and condition made for a weird combination that kept the viewers astonished and guessing what the origin and function of this strange object was. Extraterrestrial Relic.
Wow, regarde ça. Wow. Oh, regarde ça.
It was in the Nazca Desert in February 2024 that an astonishing discovery was made by the Inquiry Institute. On a tour for inspection, they were able to find a small mummy that had a peculiar head, precisely like an alien's, and had an unusual posture. Everybody on this team took pictures of this little mummy since all of them were fascinated. Eventually, they were able to retrieve an extraordinary specimen showing clear signs of extraterrestrial origins. This mummy, once the team was done with it, was sent to a place of art. Later on, the mummy was sent to a museum, a milestone in archaeological and UFO research with the eyes of the world in it. Severed alien skull.
It's no animal that I'm aware of. I'm a trained biologist.
It was in February 2024 that the Inquiry Institute got this weird thing, a skull that had never been seen by any scientist. It featured a big-eyed specimen, having an elongated cranium quite disparate from human anatomy. Carefully, he rotated the skull and found out something alarming. The head had been severed from its body. The scientist was stunned by the nature of the wounds and started speculating about what sort of strange event could have produced such trauma. He gave a theory that maybe this odd skull that once belonged to a being from another world got these injuries when it made planet fall on Earth centuries ago. Its arrival and demise remain covered in mystery.
See the bone, the skin, and even marrow in the bone.
Alien Unraveled. In July, a video went viral where an alien was the main character of an international conspiracy. This alien had been smuggled from some secret place headed for Russia. The whole thing came apart in Brazil, where it was intercepted by the authorities. Petra thus became in limbo and afterward fell into the possession of a Peruvian doctor shrouded in mystery, which further added to the confusion. It was supposed to be a discreet transfer, but has first spiraled out of control into an ever-increasing complication scenario that is now being termed by one and all as catastrophic disclosures. The incident remained a mystery, fueling speculation and concern everywhere. Mystic Skull. While walking in the woods, a man suddenly saw something he could never have imagined. A huge skull on the ground, unlike any normal skull he had ever seen. It had beautiful artwork on it. He took out his phone to capture, and as he moved around it to get a better view, he saw an alien figure carved onto its backside, and at its top was a mysterious button-like object. He was convinced that it was an alien skull. The man uploaded the footage online. This is one crazy find that asks a lot of questions about something like that getting into the woods, and that's a total mystery. Reptilian Skeleton unveiled. Early in July, this video became news headlines, deeply shocking the audience of Americans. The footage showed an unusual humanoid skeleton kept at an undisclosed location. It had a strange skull, and its hands and feet were straight in some weird way. After speculation, the footage of this strange discovery became the first documented evidence of a reptilian humanoid. Many viewers related it to extraterrestrial beings. The skeleton looked weird, and it began a controversy regarding its origin and whether it was authentic or not. Viewers were left baffled, and debates started about whether this strange creature ever existed or not. Giza Mothership sighting. Back in the 1980s, people observed a UFO at the Giza Pyramid and referred to it as the Mothership. It descended swiftly, and on impact, it looked like an explosion. The dust and sand rose high as the huge object touched the ground before rising slightly off the surface. A few minutes later, the ship began to levitate and fly back into the sky until it became a small, blurry speck on the horizon of the sandy dunes. The witnesses were left stunned, while people began to wonder whether aliens were active at one of the oldest structures on Earth, raising the question of a possible connection to alien visits to famous landmarks. Ancient Spaceman Relic. An archaeologist team was wandering in the forest on a hot day in June to discover something interesting. And what they discovered was more than interesting. They dug out an antique piece, which was something weird. The artifact was strikingly similar to the type of astronaut outfit that is worn nowadays, with ancient symbols and patterns on it. This find speculated many questions about whether it was a remains of some ancient civilization that had gone into space or simply some mysterious artifact from the era before humanity existed. It raised a debate and speculation among researchers over its real nature and importance. Aquadis.
Enemy paratroopers in grid product uniform 259er11.
In 2021, one man was boating in the sea when he came across something pretty unusual, half submerged in water and half above the surface. He went closer and saw something that looked to him like an unidentified object, disc-shaped with an attached triangle. On its surface, it was some kind of unrecognizable structure that he had never seen, and water was constantly flowing into it. Speculation started everywhere. Some of them claimed it was the wreckage of a flying saucer, while others said that this was an alien base hidden underwater. Nobody knew either its origin or the reason behind its occurrence. It inspired many wild theories.
Enemy paratroopers in grid product uniform 259er11.
Rotating relic. A leaked video from Area 51 exposed a UFO kept under the authorities' observation. This UFO looks very old, saucer-shaped and big, and it was hung up with strings and always rotating. In this video, one researcher was delicately observing the UFO with writings in some book as it rotated about one axis. Of course, more interest has been shown by the authorities to trace its origin and authenticity and investigate the unidentified crafts in depth. This footage gave more in-depth and longer-term research into UFOs, raising curiosity and speculation as to what the authorities could have already discovered concerning extraterrestrial life and technologies. Artifact block.
You can see these pieces are inlaid with intricate, luminescent and phosphorescent type.
In different Mexican regions, such as Tula, in Hidalgo, and Guerrero, various discoveries happened. These artifacts had complex carvings that showed reptilian figures, almond-shaped eyes, and DNA-like symbols that are from over 10,000 years ago. Many are made of stone, and ceramics show luminescent and phosphorescent properties. These discoveries raised questions due to their unusual characteristic features and ancient age. Collectors are convinced of their authenticity, despite official dismissals. Some theorize that these could be evidence of ancient civilizations or even extraterrestrial influences, as some of them have striking similarities to relics found in Iraq and other ancient sites.
With this one actually shattered during shipment, unfortunately, but you can see it's a full crystal all the way through.
Phantom orb. A clear video was shared by an anonymous source on July 13, 2008, showing a sphere-shaped object hovering over tree branches in a UK forest. This thing allegedly had a hollow center and was flying in a direction that could not be understood. For several minutes, it traveled steadily, and then its bottom started rotating at a very high speed before it vanished at an extraordinary speed. The unexplained disappearance gave rise to many debates about whether it was an advanced military technology or something else entirely. Alien adornments. In February 2023, an archaeologist's team in Mexico found a strange skeleton with ornaments that did not belong to the earthly civilization culture. Deep inside the ground, the skull and the jewelry were kept in an astonishingly good condition. The patterns were therefore ancient yet very detailed, more like the work of a different civilization. This started a controversy as the team refuted the argument that these relics belonged to humankind. They were, instead, the remains of objects related to other life forms. Such a finding may be the very turning point in our perceptions of the alien presence in this world. Naasa Cave Encounter. A 2024 expedition at a cave site in Naasa discovered mummies and strange otherworld insects, corpses which somewhat refuted the definition of a normal mummy. Along the way, they then saw living beings that were labeled gray, peeking around a corner underneath a rock, and some were simply milling about. At least it was filmed at that time, but somehow the footage was very poor quality. Further inside the cave, they saw unmoved creatures, some of them looking like mantids. People's interest in this rapid discovery stimulated curiosity and skepticism about the possibility of the existence of intelligent life on other planets and its regular presence in the cave. The Immortal Mermaid. Now, from Japan comes one shocking discovery. A video has come forward that reveals what is considered an alien mermaid, being kept in a jar for several centuries. The 12-inch creature, caught near Shikoku Island between 1736 and 1741, was kept at Asakuchi Temple. With a human-like upper body and a fish-like lower half, it is said to grant immortality if anyone should eat it. Sociologists at Karashiki University are taking the help of CT scans to confirm its authenticity of origin. What started initially as an odd fish, in a 1903 letter, some skeptics believed, like Hiroshi Kinoshita, that it might have been fabricated for export or show-and-tell purposes, while others thought it was extraterrestrial. Hidden doors. This footage was captured on camera by two friends camping in January. They were looking for the spot to pitch their tent, and under a big stone, they uncovered an unusual door. They were surprised to find that there were two doors, a way in and out, which led to a secret place. Shortly thereafter, they noticed what appeared to be an entity similar to extraterrestrial stalking all about the rocks, and this observation made them think whether the doors were a hiding spot for aliens, a shelter to it, or something more astonishing was going on. The find has aroused interest and led to theories about what the mysterious site truly is. Ancient Wedge. Here, the dunes have taken over, hiding the trails of time in their shifting sands. In January 2020, the archaeologists dug up something very strange, a piece wedge of alloy. It was made up of 89% aluminum and 6% copper with traces of rare elements. Its composition defied all explanations. According to experts, the wedge was more than 10,000 years old and did raise questions that science couldn't answer. Many theories have come up, claiming that it might be a part of some advanced technology or even extraterrestrials. Some said it could constitute part of a crashed alien aircraft. Whatever the truth, its presence certainly questions much of what we know about histories written on sand and stone. Quebec Alien. A video is going viral on the internet, which was shot during the winter of 1992. In Montreal, Quebec, a lifeless, unidentified creature was discovered by a snowmobiler in a nearby field. The snowmobiler had shot the humanoid entity using a camera. Onlookers used a rope to lift the entity without touching it. The body was gone by morning, pulled away by an animal, or perhaps the alien, or whatever the creature was, being an extraterrestrial. The friend later made it a point to show these shots to a ufologist, who gave them no credence whatsoever and advised against publicizing the story. Since they did not want to be laughed at, they kept the video private and only showed it to close friends and family. The Woodland Encounter. Back in 1996, a man while walking through the woods witnessed an extremely strange encounter. He saw a flat, disc-shaped craft floating just above the ground, while below it stood an unknown creature, as if looking around its surroundings. The creature resembled a humanoid shape, as most descriptions of extraterrestrial life forms would be. The man quickly pulled out a camera and recorded the moment, which was of low quality since the technology then was not as good. Even though the footage was rather grainy, the video gave rise to widespread belief in the existence of aliens and UFOs. Many came away convinced that otherworldly visitors may have already arrived. Paramid Fall. In mid-September, locals were shocked when mysterious objects crashed from the sky near a serene lake. Waiting for rain, they found some black pyramid-like structures lying here and there. Such strange objects, with unusual attachments at the top, caught the attention of the witnesses, piquing their curiosity. They went to speculate about it, and theories of UFOs and alien technology started coming out. Unfamiliar shapes like these were never seen by them and led to speculations of something extraterrestrial having crashed from the sky. It left the community in shock, with no clear answers as to what had fallen from above. Desert Visitor. On June 8, 1998, an object was floating in the air and was being observed by a man over the desert sand. It was circular in shape from above, but the lower structure was quite confusing. It went down and touched the ground with an opening on its underside. The man saw an extraterrestrial coming out. The moment the being stepped out onto the Earth, the object disappeared into space. It stood upright for a few seconds and then vanished in a fast speed. It was a strange incident, but one that left the man in a state of astonishment and created curiosity among the people of the village and experts of the time who couldn't understand what had just happened. Forest Sorcer. Last autumn, a team of archaeologists delved deep into the dense forest covering northern Italy, a country that is still wrapped in unrevealed secrets. Curiosity led them toward one remarkable sight, a UFO-shaped object buried beneath decomposed leaves and branches. Some engraved symbols were on its exterior, but they were faded due to its old age. It wasn't just like the shiny ones that science fiction shows. The saucer looked from an ancient era. The metal of it had oxidized to a gray color and had dirt and wear all over it. The archaeologists were astounded by their findings and carefully documented every feature with specialized equipment for photography and video. The Sky Flash. According to the eyewitnesses, in March 2021, military personnel came across a very surprising find on top of a mountain. While looking in the direction of the horizon within a distance, there suddenly appeared a strange, triangular or pyramid-shaped object. The craft was highly speedy, and it could only be visible for just a couple of seconds before it disappeared into the sky. They looked, but could not see any form of the craft. One of the crew members believed it might have been a flying saucer. This raised many questions concerning what it was and where it came from, and lots of theories characterized it among the people. What would you think it could be? Alien in Casket. This bizarre-looking dead alien seemed to have been discovered in fossilized form, buried deep in the mountains of Peru by a team of researchers in 2007. Many thought that it had been left behind after an alien spaceship crash. Locals, fascinated by the discovery, placed the body in a casket to preserve its study. Military officers were notified, and they carried the remains to verify its origin and authenticity. It was then taken to a secure facility for further examination and became the alien fossil that stirred intense curiosity. The whole event remains top secret, keeping speculations about extraterrestrial life and so many questions as to the mysteries of its death. UV revelation. It was a few months ago that such an ordinary find shocked the researchers, an artifact from a rather ancient civilization. Overlooked since its discovery, its true nature was revealed when one researcher exposed it to UV light. showing it had bizarre and intricate patterns beneath its surface. Without UV rays, the fragment would appear just ordinary. With ultraviolet rays shining on it, it showed complex designs, maybe of extraterrestrial origins. These patterns were so sophisticated and out of the ordinary that they seemed to point to knowledge or technology that had not been known in the remote past. Such a finding has so far dazzled the research world, putting the artifact into possible contact with an extremely advanced unknown period prior to human history. Blue Alien. This footage has taken the internet's attention as some grave robbers found something strange in Nazca Cave in Peru. It was a deceased blue alien lying on the ground. The men were in shock and they ran away in fear, although one of them managed to capture that particular moment and uploaded the video online. The next morning, many people came out of curiosity to that cave, but there was no alien at the spot. People started speculating and raised many questions regarding the alien's origins and what happened to the body. Some said it could be a hoax or some visual editing. Extraterrestrial Antiquity. A few years ago, some ancient artifacts were found by a man in a Mexican cave who photographed them. After some weird observation, he closely watched a fragment and found an alien figure carved on it. The curious man handed the various fragments of artifacts to the Mexican archaeological team. Further, these teams reviewed the artifacts and decided that they were not of Earth origin and related to extraterrestrial ones. The finding has raised a huge amount of interest and speculation regarding the true origin of such artifacts and their connection with alien beings. The Golden Mask of Nazca. While digging in the mud of the Nazca Citadel, this archaeological team discovered something buried. Carefully cleaning off the mud, they came up with a golden mask with a complex design, unlike anything known from the era. The team was confused because of unearthly skill and mysterious patterns on the mask. After a complete examination, there was nothing known about its origins. The artifact defied human understanding and showed its connections with unknown or extraterrestrial beings. It was a finding that made the experts curious, and it was something that would continue to be in research to find out its origin and meaning. Jalisco Enigma. A man found some very strange relics this December 2023 in Jalisco, Mexico. He could not believe his eyes. Two of them had human bodies but very disturbing heads. One was alien-like, with its skull three-parted, and the other had horns, like some sort of extraterrestrial figure. They looked like alien artifacts as their appearance was quite similar. He was puzzled and curious and photographed these relics and gave these relics to a research facility for further study and investigation. These weird designs have left experts baffled and raised many questions about the origin of these strange creatures and their link to extraterrestrials. Alien mummies. By February 2024, a footage had been leaked that showed the investigation procedure regarding the Nazca mummies. These ancient remains were treated with great care and cleaned and dried for further investigation. The bodies of several species were reconstructed, and some of them completely baffled the experts with their weird structures and relations with other worlds. The revelation set off furious debate, as the mummies had a number of features that brought up theories of links beyond Earth and fueled speculation into their origins. The investigation goes further to establish secrets surrounding these mysterious artifacts. Tridactyl footprints. In one of the Russian military installations in the 1980s, large quantities of uranium ores were stored, and there a very unexpected finding was made. Big footprints were there that didn't belong to a human. The place was examined, and investigators were called in, and the identification of the prints was as tridactyl three-toed. Their shape was rather strange, and the prints were unusually big. Some in the military investigating team were even suggesting that some unidentified creature or entity might have been involved. Many questions remained behind the mystery of the footprints, since no explanation was given about who could have made them. Caged demon. In a graveyard in the Philippine Islands, there is a tombstone with an eerie look of a demon walking over an angel. This frightening sculpture, created by Simeon Bernardo, a rich farmer and rebel, was built in 1926, and the people say that it moves by night to look for the souls in the cemetery. The demon's arms wear a rosary, an amulet for the exorcism of the evil it embodies. The man crafted the statue against Catholic doctrine. His grandson says that the monument was inspired by hostility towards the friars and profound theological doubts. The current owners keep the statue because they think the message of the sculpture is still meaningful in the present age. Crystal Skull Mysteries. What you see here is a skull made of crystals. This skull was found in a Mayan pyramid in Mexico. This skull was discovered by an explorer named Anna Mitchell. Crystal skull enthusiasts claim that 12 of the 13 authentic crystal skulls have been discovered and are in private collections. In the 19th century, these skulls were displayed as genuine Mesoamerican relics in London and Paris museums, and now scientists argue they are modern creations. Some theorists believe that the skulls are of extraterrestrial origin and have ancient or otherworldly powers. Native American legends suggest these skulls, including this rumored 13th, will form a global grid, and it will reveal hidden sacred knowledge and be shown in a new era when united. Nazca's Golden Enigma. A recent video is attracting people's interest of the find of the golden objects in the cave that was made in the region of Nazca, which is well known for its discoveries. The shots unveiled other historical artifacts that could have probably been stored for years, but were seen to be in good condition. Speculations and debates occurred about from where the artifacts came and whether they were in any way related to aliens. This mysterious appearance and the setting of the cave made viewers question themselves if these relics were evidence of the existence of aliens. Golden Tridactyl Coffin. The Citadel yielded a golden tridactyl coffin back in May 2020, approximately 4 feet long. Archaeologists carefully dug and studied the oddity in great depth for its complex extraterrestrial decoration. The mysterious decoration of ancient figures on the coffin further stirred up their urge to learn about its origins. The owners who once owned the box of treasures. Despite their work, answers about where the coffin came from and to whom it relates have remained mysterious. Everybody's meaningful interest and speculations have been caught by this find about its possible link with the long-lost civilizations or extraterrestrial impacts. Open discussion. Some archaeologists in Peru have stumbled upon an ancient underground gallery located in the Andes. The gallery had been hidden deep inside a cave and contained a number of alien artifacts, such as an ancient book that details extraterrestrial origins and species classification. Other remains included UFO and alien-like objects. The team was shocked. It is one of those kinds of discoveries that raise more questions than answers. How long ago was the gallery buried? Speculations about alien contact in ancient times started, and this could be the breakthrough find that may carry those answers we are finding for so long. What do you think? Share your thoughts below. Thank you very much for watching the video. Share in the comments and do like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.